Alright folks, we're back. It's King Sejong Station coming up next. Gotta give a shout out to Aquarius XXX for the 6-month resub. Yay!
Hooray!
Uh, sorry, my hands are weak. I didn't notice this though until I just did our commercial break. We have finally surpassed 15 million views on Twitch!
Yay!
Which is interesting because our YouTube channel is just, excuse me, I think recently passed 2 million or something for all of our VODs, so kind of nailing it. We're like, I'm just gonna benchmark this, I guess. So July 3rd, 2016, we've got 15 million views on Twitch, 62,000. Oh my God, we're 40 followers away from 63,000 followers. Can we get some fucking follows, guys? If you're not following the channel, please hit that follow button. But almost 63,000 followers. We got close to like 9,000 YouTube subs. Again, go subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't, and then whatever's going on with YouTube. So that's really cool to see. But I guess a question for chat. We're here live, so we have some time. Before we get into this best of 5, I got a question for you guys. Zymgrub and I are going to be gone next week for the Blizzard Summit, which is going to be cool, and we'll try and do some video content while we're there. I know the stuff we did in Austin, Texas fell a bit flat because my 3D camera worked like a charm, but editing with it turns out to be a much more impossible thing than I had realized. So I won't be trying to do that again. But my question for you guys is, while we're gone, what type of content would you like us to pre-record, basically? Right now we're thinking about just doing some co-op missions and releasing like them on YouTube, like 1 or 2 a day. The alternative to that would be... Sorry, one second, I sneeze. Maybe? Oh, this is the worst. The alternative to that would be like maybe doing some, I guess, 1v1 StarCraft ladder play from our perspectives, or team games, or Archon mode, or even Overwatch. Just what would you guys like to see while we're gone? Because we're gonna have to, over the next couple of days, schedule stuff ahead of time. Solid Steps says interviews. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about stuff we'll be doing at the summit, guys. I'm talking about stuff that we're gonna record 2 or 3 days from now, ahead of time, so that we can have stuff still being released while we're gone, while we're doing set interviews and other things. Stand-up comedy video?
K-pop dancing?
Have you ever seen, I know you don't watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but have you ever seen the stuff where Dee tries to do comedy?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry, but because this is a replay cast so we can dick around a bit, I'm finding this link right now and you need to watch it. It's like very short.
Maybe you should just start the game anyway.
No, hang on. It's, look, I promise you it's short. You can skip like halfway through, okay? Sweet Dee does comedy. Actually, where does it start? It starts at about 46 seconds, okay? This is exactly how I imagine Zambia would be doing comedy, okay? And not because she's blonde, guys.
Right. So you guys, what's the
Really
deal
gross.
with those hands-free headsets that everybody's wearing in their ears, right?
Not the choking bit. I meant like the start bit where she's all like, so guys, what's up with those hand-free headsets?
I feel like I've never done this with you. You're so mean.
Okay, well, maybe not. This is just how I actually think you would do comedy. I think you would get up there and not know what to do, to be honest.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about doing a comedy thing is that you're supposed to be prepared beforehand. Right? So I don't think I'd just go up there and be like, yeah, I didn't prepare. Okay, sorry, bye.
Maybe not. I don't know. But let's hop into the semifinals. We'll see what you guys say in chat in a moment. This is going to be game number 1 in a best of 5 for the Olimoleague June monthly finals. In the bottom right, wow, is going to be the red Protoss Super.
In the top left, as the blue Protoss, he's PiLiPiLi.
There's actually something cool that goes with this tournament I had actually forgotten because this wasn't really a thing brought up here. The winner of this, I think, is being invited to Total Biscuits King of the Hill or whatever, that $5,000 thing he's running with In Control.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's cast with In Control. Yep.
Or cast with running. I don't know the format or the setup for it. I just know that it's gonna be a lot of. Well, I'm surprised about it's a 1-day thing. I thought he was gonna make it like at least like a weekend long thing, but he's making it like a 1-day thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it kind of like harkens back to the King of the Hills of old, which like people have not done King of the Hills in a long time. Not consistently, at the very least. I don't know if there's been like one-off tournaments or whatever, but there used to be like some serious King of the Hills on like Friday night and stuff like that.
Excuse me, you're clearly forgetting about the savior of esports, the greatest Terran of all time, the God King himself, Avilo, hosting the greatest King of the Hills of all time in recent days.
I thought you were gonna bring up King of the Hill.
No, the
like
thing.
Something legitimate.
oh, you would do comedy well, I think. I was wrong.
Oh. Oh no, I had actually the sickest burn. I don't even know if I want to say it.
I would very much like to hear it.
I usually don't want to start shit.
Go on.
So my friend was like having trouble going to sleep. And I was thinking, you know, about those Hearthstone streams that make Olivia and Fear Dragon fall asleep, but I had one better. I said like, you know, you should watch Hearthstone streams, and he's like, sorry, like they're not as boring for me, so I can't fall asleep with those. And I was like, oh, you find something worse than Hearthstone then. Watch a Villo stream.
No, that wouldn't put you to sleep. That would just give you not even nightmares, probably just a headache.
A headache.
I think so. I mean, can you imagine trying to fall asleep listening to that voice? I mean, I don't know about you. Daffy Duck is not my go-to ASMR sleep device for white noise.
Oh, see, I started shit. It's gotten even worse in the past minute.
But of course,
Well,
that's my opinion, and that needs to be stated, because if I were to say anything otherwise, that would actually go against Twitch terms of service, and in my opinion, is something Avilo does on the regular, which people should be actively reporting him for, in my opinion. But to make a statement otherwise would somehow be a completely un-okay thing to do. But in my opinion, apparently covers bases. I don't understand how legality works. I think it's quite stupid, in my opinion.
I feel like you're talking about that plus what happened today on Reddit.
What happened today on Reddit?
You know what happened today on Reddit.
Oh, my thread on Reddit? Good
Yeah, your
times.
fair
Well,
use
actually, it's not my
conversation.
thread.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't set the thread.
Yeah, I'm at this point where the thing that bothers me so much about that isn't I don't care about downvotes. I want to make this very clear. Like, if I say something that's assholish or boorish or wrong, and I get downvoted, okay, that's not how the system's meant to be used, but I get it. It makes sense, right? What I don't like, and this is the only part that really makes me angry, this is the part that makes me want to reach through the internet and slap somebody, is when in a completely different thread on a completely unrelated topic, somebody will make some retarded comment referencing back to whatever downvoted comment was, and that gets upvoted. That bothers me because that's proof that there's this mob mentality before things even get started. And I don't mean mob mentality like, oh my god, the world's ganging up on Rifkin. But the fact that something completely unrelated that has nothing to do with anything could get like 11 to 20 upvotes means that there's just 19 people being really shitty for no good reason. And that bothers me.
Yeah. Right.
Well, also, I mean, I don't think I was wrong on the thread, but whatever. Don't care about that. That's
I mean,
not
you brought
even...
up something else. I mean...
Well, that was true, too. EJK straight up tried to steal...
You probably should have deleted it then.
Oh,
This
what?
caused a
Delete
whole
it?
mess of confusion.
Well, I mean, okay. Is this a cast or is this like talking about Reddit drama? Jesus. It's our StarCraft 2 drama alert. But no, like the thing was I deleted it because it wasn't relevant to the discussion. That's how you're supposed to be using Reddit. The same way like when you downvote something, you're not supposed to downvote it just because you disagree with it. You're supposed to downvote it if it doesn't add anything to the discussion or has nothing to do with the topic or is wrong. But either way, none of those things apply and everyone just got all panties in a twist anyways.
Sure. Anyway, I mean, the reason we got to talk about that is because surprisingly slow openers in a PvP. Well, not too surprising, I suppose. We've seen a lot of macro games in our Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, we've cast, I would say, probably the most PvPs I've seen in the last year of StarCraft, all concentrated in that one tournament. And a big part of that was we saw people try and emulate the Korean style of play. We saw people try and emulate the foreigner way to style of the play, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it really does boil down to if you've got disruptors, you're going to have a great time. Unless your opponent goes air, in which case you go air, and then you're both going to have a bad time.
Yes. And with them both going for Blink here, actually, Super getting a lot of gateways, a much faster third, too. Super's just looking super in this game. Yeah, I gotta imagine it's gonna go to the Disruptor Wars. But first, we're gonna have a little bit of Warp Prism shenanigans.
Yeah, and until that kicks in, and I will stop myself when it finally does, we need to talk about more of this drama because
God.
we can. Chaotic
Okay.
Ranger brings up an okay point. He's just like, I'm not a fan of Avilo, but I'm pretty sure you were just being shitty to him for no reason. And assuming that's referring to our comments right now, granted, it was a little
That's true.
unfounded. However, we have never once sent our fans to Avilo. We've never once asked them to brigade or attack him, yet he's done that to us on several different occasions. Furthering the fact that he links Reddit threads and tells people to upvote things, furthering the fact that he shares Imgur links to not... Like, he breaks all kinds of rules all the time and is never punished for it like a giant child. So I've at this point just given up. I thought for the longest time Avilo was just putting on an act, and I thought it was clever. It got him views. It made a lot of sense. Then I slowly realized over time the guy's actually maybe not putting on an act, like, at all. And this is actually a human being, and that's very disappointing, in my opinion.
We got a big attack coming.
Yes.
And potentially game ending, by the way.
I mean, he just had a couple of immortals, but they get focused on immediately.
Oh,
No
wow.
protection for this whatsoever. If there's an observer to scout and an adept in the middle of the map, anything, this may have gone slightly different, but falls back to the overcharge way too late. One of the immortals was down. The other one's half dead. The barrier's been popped. The mothership core goes down. And this falls apart for PiLiPiLi in one quick instant.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, it obviously fell apart in one quick instant because he was caught off guard and his army was not prepared, but it was also just that this entire game really has
GG.
been rolling to Super's side, you know? Like, he was looking better faster throughout the entirety of it, except that maybe PvP could have gotten, like, a Dark Shrine or something like that, but
Yeah, I
not
mean...
allowed.
But the thing is, I think even if PiLiPiLi did go for, say, a Dark Shrine, I don't think Timey would have been on his side with the way he was going for that third. Like, the fact that Super saw a third and just outproduced him...
Yeah.
Alright, Game 2 being hosted right now on Frost. What's with everyone picking these cold-ass maps, Zombie Grub? Is it
summer,
Yeah, I was gonna say, is
so
it the
they're
summer
all-
mentality? You want that cold? Like...
Yeah, they want the cold.
Yeah, there's a rhyme I remember hearing when I was a kid, and I'm gonna butcher it terribly here, but it's like... when it's cold, man what's hot, and when it's hot, man what's cold, always wanting what is not, or something like that. And I'm like, whoa, bro. Whoa. Too true.
Blow my mind right there, man.
Your mind grapes?
My mind grapes.
Let me
Where's
pick
that
'em.
from?
30 Rock. Tracy Morgan.
Oh,
All right,
okay,
ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen,
okay.
game number 2 kicking up here for the semifinals. In the bottom left side of Frost, we got the red Protoss. Up one game. Currently, it's Super.
In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, he is PiLiPiLi.
Will they be streaming both semifinals, asks Donder God, and the answer is yes. So, I don't have the brackets handy. I don't remember what the other one is, but we'll be doing both semifinals, so 2 best-of-5s into a best-of-7 grand finish. We're casting out the entirety of the Olimoleague for the June monthly finals. Now, I guess part of me had no problem talking about that first game because I'm not going to lie, I've got a little bit of bias in this thinking, just kind of writing PiLiPiLi off. And I've done this almost every time we've cast him, but PiLiPiLi has, in fairness, maybe not in this first game, shown us a lot of really, I'd say, better results recently. This is no longer the kind of like 2-base kid at the start of Legacy of the Void that couldn't get anything done. I mean, again, going back to the fact that he beat Koreans, he beat down friggin' Terrence, and he beat Gumiho in the round of 8 here for this tournament. He's in a much better place than he's been in the past. But for me, Super is just such a good player. Again, just referencing, he's won a lot of our tournaments. He performs decently over in Korea as well. He's no walk in the park.
Yeah, and I mean, with this track, you know, up 1-0, just defeated Beyond, he is on his way to the actual finals. So everyone right now has already got money, which is pretty cool. What's really cool is that Sulky and Keen both got money for doing absolutely nothing, as both of the newcomers just no-showed, which sucked, but oh well. Congratulations to them.
That's why I don't have replays for those games. Okay.
Right, yeah, because
we were trying to pick the round of 8 match, and there's only 2 options. There's like the one that was cast already and the one that wasn't. And we're like, okay, where's the other?
So they've already got, you know, everyone here's already got $75. Second place, $200. First place, $350. Not a bad prize pool whatsoever. But then, of course, the first place, you know, gets that that spot in Total Biscuit's King of the Hill. So if Super wins this, and let's say that Sulky wins the next one, Super just beat Sulky. I mean, Super would be looking really good to get that finals. But Keen hasn't been doing too poorly. It's more like Sulky's been doing poorer. So I wouldn't be surprised if Keen took that series. either, and that would make I think, a more interesting or finals rather, actual finals. PiLiPiLi, your pylon has been scouted. Oh, was it? His probe was scouted. Oh, but his pylon wasn't. Oh no.
Okay, so a little bit awkward. Because that gateway comes down, and PiLiPiLi is looking to pay Super back for that last game.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Super's gonna get in here anyway, so whether he saw the pylon or not, he's going to see the lack of a Nexus and a Stargate in the very back. Come on! My caster curse is real. Super doesn't see the Stargate, and now he might have his inside of position.
This is kind of, in fairness though, a lot of this has to do with the fact that PiLiPiLi did hit him with these adepts. He's killed about 6, almost 7 workers. But you're right, he didn't actually get into the probes coming in now, sees the Stargate. But even then, like, the Stargate itself is not so nearly as alarming as this proxy pylon.
Yeah. Okay, thank God. Right, and I mean, he sees the third gateway. He knows that there's going to be something, and usually if you're going to one base, gateway attack, you're going to have that proxy gateway so you can have the instant warp in. So he has a good idea now.
He's thrown away a lot of these adepts, though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, the first 2 did a lot of damage. These next 2 did not. Oracle is going to... If it right-clicks the probes, it might be worth it, actually. It's not going to help out much more any other way. Oh, but then it goes to the post overcharge. That sucks.
Rip. That's not a great start for Pili, who really... It's not about the probe count so much as it is that army supply. He really needs that to be up and above to bully through these stalkers. And, the Robo's on the way. He's on a bit of a clock, because if that Immortal comes out, this attack is not going to do so well.
Yeah. Another Oracle's gonna try. I mean, at the very least, even though it sucks they aren't killing probes, they are getting the Mothership Core to pop the overcharge, which I think at this point Super realizes he doesn't want to do. Yeah, so he just left one more Stalker in the main base, and Oracle has to leave. Ooh. There's the other puts an overcharge at the front.
He targets that down real quick. It costs him the Oracle, but he busts through with the Stalker count's actually 7-5 now. Probe's getting pulled, a little bit scary.
Yeah, a little bit. Of course, the production for Super isn't terrible, it's just not as good.
No, and it's 1 base versus 2 right now. So, I mean, for Super, he can bleed out a couple of workers. Replacing those won't be so bad. He's got to hold on with the army. Again, the emphasis goes on to the army. But the Mothership Core gets focused. She goes down.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of these Stalkers really low. PiLiPiLi's control's not been too bad leading into this fight. But unfortunately, as these are starting to get focus fired down, his army is dwindling much faster than that of Super's.
Plus, Super's been making a lot of money. Yeah, I was waiting for his Immortal to start, and once that Immortal's out, then PiLiPiLi, I don't know what he's going to be able to do. He has worked on some Adepts. I like that. There's not really a lot of units here to split that well to kill 4 Adepts super quickly, but it looks like he's going to be using them on the front lines. Now, yeah, Super can just let his Nexus take a few pot shots. There's no sentry to worry about yet. Maybe PiLiPiLi does dedicate to one. I don't know. That's a lot of gas to use. So he can let this go on for a little while longer. There's the Immortal now. Adepts are going to go ahead and shade through? No. Suicide. No way. Adept should be on the front. There we go. Anytime an Immortal gets a hit on that Stalker, I mean, it's just so worth it. This is going so badly. Oh, I like that trap. That was very clever from PiLiPiLi. Wow. I don't know if that won in the game. There's another Immortal on the way, but that certainly helped.
Well, the Mothership Core goes down again, and that Stalker count's building up nice. And without that Immortal to really give him that firepower, Super is finding it hard to fight. I mean, they're still trading out evenly. Similar worker counts. As long as this Nexus stands, Super's still going to be a little bit ahead, because they'll just trade out evenly till the end of time.
There we go.
But that's where the Immortal comes in. It's supposed to shift this around, pushing this back. I got to give it to PiLiPiLi. I think this works on so many other players, but hold on. It's not over yet. The Adepts are transferring through. He can either use these to fight or go straight through to the main and kill probes. Look at how focus the Immortal. These can take hits where the Stalkers can't, but it's not going to be enough by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Adepts don't really take that much, or do that much damage. The Stalkers come in to help, but that's when the focus fire is really important here. It does go down, but already another Immortal on the way. All the Stalkers are still pretty damn healthy. And it looks like PiLiPiLi still has to give up on this. But he can't. He doesn't have a Nexus, so it's really just the all-in hasn't worked. Maybe this is a little bit bold. Oh no, never mind, the Immortal's here. GG!
GG. That, for a moment, looked hopeful for Pili, but unfortunately for him, will not get him the game. So 2-0 now for Super, but it is a best of 5, not a best of 3, so not over yet. We're going to go to a small commercial break, and when we return, we'll be back with game number. Alright, folks, we're back. Game number 3 coming up on Frozen Temple. We're just going to start this up really quick as we get into it. Again, the reminder that these are replays and all that stuff, because this was played out, I think, about a week ago, but there's technical problems with the stream, which is why it didn't get cast. But let's hop into the game. You know what's funny? I just realized the overlay I have for the Olimoleague that was preset and saved is actually so old that it had the 5% discount code instead of the $20 one for Yord, so I didn't have to go back and fix it because this was so out of date.
That's what happened with mine.
Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the first semifinal. We will be casting both semifinals, 2 best of 5s into a best of 7, all that goodness. So it's who's it on the other side? It's Sulky and Keen, was it, or?
Sulky and Keen, yes.
Nice. So TVZ after this into the winner of this versus the winner of that. So Protoss versus something finals. But in the bottom right side, he's up 2 games, looking to close it out with a 3-0. It's the red Protoss Super.
In the top left, as the blue Protoss, it's PiLiPiLi.
All right, so we're going to have some non-drama related real talk for a moment. Man, I have been enjoying the heck out of Overwatch. And I'm sitting here for the first time, not even when I was like super addicted to WoW, was I this excited to play another game other than casting StarCraft. And don't get me wrong, guys, I still play, I've been playing co-op and all these other things. I still play and love StarCraft, okay? Don't get this mistaken. Someone's going to be like, oh my god, Rifkin's leaving StarCraft. I'm not. I really enjoy this other game, though. Like, for those who didn't know, about a year and a half ago, I was raiding in WoW pretty regularly, and what would happen is we'd cast the Olimoleague, and the second it was done, I'd have to scuttle off over to raid. And even then, I was excited to go. I'm not nearly as excited as I am to get back into Overwatch the second we're done casting today.
Yep, it's got its hooks in a lot of people, I guess. I'm so torn, you know, on this competitive thing, because so many bugs are being reported, like the Hell thing, and then apparently if you're support, but especially Mercy, you're going to get less experience, less level. Which sucks. That's a confirmed bug. What else confirmed bugs were there? Just like the way that they're calculating it.
The lever one's the most frustrating one. If you have such a good game and someone on the other team leaves, you get like jacked. That'd be like winning StarCraft and having the greatest game, but because they left before they actually got killed, you only got like 1 ladder point instead of 15.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, there's so many like wrong things, and apparently I guess the consensus is that they're waiting until season 2 to fix all of it, which kind of sucks. So. I mean, there's that.
Well, I mean,
plus
that would be Blizzard, right? Don't apply radical changes when it's most appropriate. Don't try and save StarCraft while you can.
Don't try and fix the Cyclone bug within a month.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But then there's also the fact that it's just a team sport. So even if everything was working perfectly, I don't know how I would really, take it. Because, I mean, there's definitely, like, 90% of my games, I'm like, oh, I could have done a lot better. Like, I could have helped my team a lot more, and that's where we lost. But then it's those 10% of the games, you're just like, I know it wasn't my fault.
Because the fucking Hanzo Instalock. The Instalock. Okay. Big shout outs by the Heatsink _. He hits up with a 12-month resub. And he says 12 months already, 12 months of great casting in games. Oh, the irony in that statement as we start talking about Overwatch during the StarCraft cast. Great control to Super, by the way, these stalkers, of course, while we're talking, we're watching, and the micro was just, he nailed it.
Well, PiLiPiLi didn't nail it, which is I found it so confusing. He
tried to chase off, and he was like looking for blood. I mean, at this point, I feel really bad for him because you're down 2 games. You're feeling a little desperate, maybe. You see this big attack coming, or aggressive attack, coming.
It wasn't that. It was that he went into the corner instead of chasing that low stalker. I don't know why I did that. That was just. It would have died either way, but it was just very odd to see him do that. And now he's.
Oh, these guys have shields back.
Mistake.
These boys have shields. They're actually gonna kite. Are you serious? Right now, he's gonna win this fight so hardcore. Yeah,
and then more stalkers come in. I mean, Super, he got this proxy pylon, and, he didn't actually go all in with it. If I had seen that as PiLiPiLi, which I'm not saying he did, I don't think he did. Yeah, he didn't. I would assume there's like a 1 base all in on the way, right? Just like he did. But it's really just for slow warp-ins to continue pressure. Super's expanding behind this.
I mean, a slow warp-in's still faster than walking across the map, I guess.
Yeah, I think
pulls back these low stalkers. Really nicely done to get that pylon down. Loses a stalker for it, but he's still got 5. 5 to the 2 and the 1 sentry. Now, there's an immortal coming up for PiLiPiLi. Hope is not lost yet. But the problem is Super's actually expanding behind this. So this isn't about going up that ramp and ending the game here necessarily as much as it is about getting ahead. And killing this Nexus will do exactly that.
Oh, God. I mean, the sentry's going to guard them from being attacked in the main base. But, PiLiPiLi has not got any scouting. this might look like more of a dedication than it is. So, like, if you lose the Nexus in some scenarios, it's not that big of a deal as long as you don't lose anything else. You know, they're also on one base, and they're only just started their Nexus. That's not such a big deal. But Super has his Nexus, and he has his probes mining off of it, almost saturated. He's gonna have his tech as well. He's gonna be a little late on the Immortal, which is what is, like, the scariest part right now, but I still think, you know, with an overcharge, he's well prepped to defend against PiLiPiLi's attack, and it looks like PiLiPiLi's just gonna go all in with this. He's got 2 gateways, he needs to warp into warp gates. There we go.
I actually don't think this is a terrible option. I mean, you could argue that if you didn't take the gateways, you could re-expand it afterwards. But even then, he'd still be behind that Nexus. I like the idea of trying to make the most of what's available to him. But it might not be enough. I mean, there's even sentries here, too. So with its Guardian Shields, whether it's Force Fields, that Immortal's probably not going to get much use in the fight. And Super's about to match him Immortal for Immortal. The only advantage PiLiPiLi has right now is the fact that that thing shreks Stalkers.
Yeah. The Observer's going to see a very tiny army, but then a bigger army behind it. And now, of course, the Warp Prism. Blink is on the way, so he can buy a lot of time here. Those Force Fields are pretty good.
It picks up in the Warp Prism, though. Nicely handled.
Yeah. It's the best he can make out of a bad situation. Potent Overcharge still available, though, and an Immortal now available as well for Super. Solin's got to work, and it just doesn't look like it will. The Warp Prism, yep, that's what I was thinking. The one chance here is a good force field.
Oh, PiLiPiLi may have just found a way to make some magic happen. If he gets another force field down too, this will stop any sort of proper reinforcements. And this gives him a huge advantage in the main where the production is. But the sentry gets sniped. No!
Oops.
PiLi, you almost had this happen, man! You almost did
almost.
it! But GG. Super's gonna take a 3-0, win the series. That was actually legitimately almost a win for PiLi. Had that been handled maybe slightly differently, slightly better. I don't know what to say. That's fantastic. Is what it was. Where is this here? The other set. All right. So Keen versus Soulkey will be coming up next. This will be a TVZ, still best of 5, as it's the other semifinals for the Olimoleague. And, of course, we'll have the grand final best of 7 afterwards. We're going to go to a small commercial break, though, before we get into it. So thank you guys so much for watching today, and stick with us. We'll see you soon. Actually, before I go to the commercial break, I have an honest opinion. Again, we're on no delay, so we can kind of chat with you guys for once. Let me ask you, this has to do with ads, right? I actually got into, after we hosted Maximus Black yesterday, while he's running his tournament, we happened to host them at a time when they were talking about the new Twitch Bits thing. Did you happen to watch that at all, or no?
No.
So Nova War had a lot of opinions about it that I mostly agreed with. I'm not going to bore you guys with the details of, but it got me thinking about some things. And while I personally don't necessarily agree and like the idea of the Twitch Bits cheering system, one thing that's kind of cool to me, though, that I thought one step further is, okay, let's say you take these Twitch Bits and you add in whatever the next thing Twitch is doing, and then the next thing. You've got these 3 things that individually might not be cool, but you suddenly realize it brings you to this point where Twitch and streamers can monetize themselves without the necessity for ads. I mean, for you guys who don't know, when we run one of these broadcasts, especially today with like 1,000 viewers, we're probably not even going to make $20 in ad revenue from this. But if it's something where you can have these streams happen, and it'd be kind of like if we had donation incentives, right? Like if we said, hey, $50 and we won't play ads or something like that. But instead with all these other weird things that Twitch is trying to integrate, again, Twitch Bits and whatever the next 2 or 3 steps are. What do you guys think on that? I guess this is where, like, on a YouTube video, I'd be like, leave your comments and thoughts down below. But you guys in Twitch chat, what do you think about that? Like, is that a better system? Some of you guys I know don't mind watching ads, but would you be happier with a streamer being able to make a living without ads, or you find watching ads and streamer maybe making less for it or something? Because for us, like, our best day of ad revenue, like on an average cast, so I'm not talking like the once-off, like Dream Hacks, where we'll get like, I don't know, say 25,000 views or something. Let's say like our average cast of 2,000 viewers, that'll net us between $50 and $100 in ad revenue, depending on what the day looks like and depending on how many people have ad block. Like, would it actually be a scenario for our viewers where if we had a donation goal every day that said like, hey, if we raise $70, we'll stop playing ads for the rest of the cast? Is that something people would buy into, or is that something that's just like, nope, that's too far-fetched, like the Twitch Bits and all these other things? So I'll read your guys' comments in chat while we play these ads, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.